turned the camera on.
Okay. Did you do the 2 things you always forget to do?
Yes, I did. I hope everyone is very proud of me.
Yes.
How goes it, bestie?
Um, I'm currently not in a good place emotionally because mere minutes ago, like 10 minutes ago, I finished Attack on Titan.
You fucking
I just
idiot.
watched it. So
Yeah.
still processing, and I think everything, whatever I'm saying throughout this whole thing, I'm still just gonna be processing it in the background in my head.
Noted. Noted. Can't say that I blame you. I was gonna bring that up for the worsening, but
Yeah,
we've already gotten there, so that's cool.
yeah, yep. That was gonna be a part of mine as well. So
Sweet.
we can talk about how it made us worse later.
We'll get to that. But anything else going on that you'd like to report, or shall we just get right into it?
Um, Not that I can really think of. I do have a new diagnosis on my foot
Mm.
from the new podiatrist.
Am I
That
allowed to reference the message that you sent me about that podiatrist, or is that private information?
sure, what are the odds that he's gonna see it?
From your hot podiatrist?
Yeah, it was just wild because my normal guy is rather elderly.
It'd be like that
But
sometimes.
he's on vacation, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just send just this other guy." And he walks in, and he's like, you know, 30s, and like
Goddamn.
immediately, I'm like, "Oh, he's got a wedding ring on."
Oops.
And he's a runner.
Mm.
But he
Tragedy
was like,
indeed.
so this whole time I thought it was capsulitis, which can get much worse, if you don't treat it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
He now thinks it's a neuroma, which apparently you can't make worse. So I can run all I want on it. He said the only limitation is my tolerance for the pain.
Okay, you can't make it worse, but is there anything you can do to make it better?
Not yet. Not really. Well, we gotta confirm it first. I gotta get scheduled for an ultrasound of my foot. But
Okay.
But I mean, in a way, that's good news because before I was like, man, every time I walk anywhere, I'm like risking my foot. Now I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter, it just hurts. Assuming he was correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing, but the headline for me is I can run on it. That was the first thing I asked him. And
Congratulations.
and um he I was like, I hate to admit this, but I ran a 3 race series over the weekend on it. Um, and he was like, yeah, no, I totally get that. He's like, he's done like half marathons and marathon and stuff. And he said he was running with a faster hip, so he gets it.
Clearly, oh my god. I
Didn't even
don't get it, but good for y'all.
didn't even say anything about my toe that's like black from Sunday's race.
Okay.
It's all bruised. I guess it's more purple, like dark purple blue. Looked more black the day of.
Alright.
He didn't even comment on it. I'm like, really? You're just not gonna acknowledge? Okay.
I'm not even reacting with horror anymore. I'm just reacting with resignation because I don't clearly I can't stop you. Nothing will.
Yeah. So with my injured foot and my really gross looking toe here, I can run. He said I could. Good. So guess what I'm doing first thing in the morning.
I'm so proud. Question mark. um well, with that super fun update, you're going to be running in the morning and it's going to be nice and bright, but I hate fallback so much. Our first question, which we've definitely covered on this podcast before because we like to complain, why haven't we gotten rid of fallback yet?
Didn't we, like, when we did the spring forward, didn't we spend like a huge chunk of the episode just constantly bringing it up?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we did. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, right? Like, they keep trying and failing. Because I feel like they've introduced, like, resolutions and stuff.
They have multiple times. And here's my thing. For issues both profound and not so profound, what is, to get political for a second here, what is the point of a representative government if people are saying, hey, we want this thing, and the people that represent us are just like, okay, cool, no.
Yeah, I think it's because, like, politicians, like, the way they do things, they use, like, certain things as leverage and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, I know people want this, but I'm not gonna do it unless you do this thing for me, and then it's like, I just think there's, like, a bunch of backroom deals happening
And,
somehow.
like, again, that is dumbing it down so very, very much. I do understand that in any sort of representative system, you're gonna have to have a little, like, oh, I'll let you have this if you let me have this. Like, I get it, but also, like, there are some things that are so widely popular, again, both profound and not, where everyone's like, yeah, we want this, or no, we don't want this. And everyone, and the people that are supposed to represent the everyone saying we do or don't want this thing, just look at them and just go, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's other things they've made happen relatively quickly when everybody was, like, on board.
Yeah, telling John Fetterman that he can't wear shorts. They moved
Yeah,
real
right.
fast on that one.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I think, yeah, not to be, like, too political, I think they're all more concerned with just doing what helps them keep their jobs, and even though that's a thing everybody wants, it's not going to help them get reelected.
Yeah.
So, why waste their time on that?
I don't know. But, yeah. Fallback sucks. I hate it. It is proven to, like, not be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are more car accidents.
Yeah.
And even in the, like, not like, oh, this is immediately dangerous to people's lives potentially, it just throws everyone off, man.
I'm always miserable for at least, like, a week or two.
Yeah.
Where I just can't get my internal clock to make any sense.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I keep thinking, like, oh, it's time for dinner. No, it's not. It's the middle of the afternoon. But wait, why is it?
And it confuses our pets.
I don't know. I don't think mine have enough brain cells for that.
It confuses other people's pets who are on a strict schedule.
It definitely doesn't bother Harley, because he can't tell time.
God, I wish that were me.
His heat lamp and his light automatically turn on at sunrise and off at sunset. No, he still just noodles around before it even turns on, and I'm like, you're not supposed to be awake yet. The sun's not up.
He's a bizarre little man, but we love that for him.
He's an idiot, yeah.
Well, with that being said, I found this photo that you sent me way back in our messages, and I don't know what I was trying to track down when I came across it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, did I save that? Yes, okay. So I'm gonna try and, like, find the original Facebook post that this is from. Actually, here, you know what, let me send it.
I mean, I can easily do that because it's my friend.
Oh!
Screenshot I took of my friend's post.
Oh, well, the plot thickens. I thought this was just a random, like a screenshot from a rando.
No, this is the friend from grad school that has all the reptiles. And
that's so fun. Why is she not on this podcast right now? We're stealing her material.
I mean, yeah, I haven't talked to her in a while. She left the academic world and went into the corporate world and never looked back. So, yeah, I don't run into her like a lot of my old grad school classmates.
Good for her?
Yeah, no, she's
I don't know.
Seems it.
Well, I was just gonna send the screenshot that you sent me to the chat here so I can pull it up for the viewing public, although I am, like, please do send me the link. Come on.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, I wonder what Steph Best would think. And I'll be like, hey, talking about your question, she'd probably be delighted.
Well, that's good. As long as we're, like, not definitively certain that this person would be pissed off and we're doing it anyway. That would kind of suck.
She is cool.
But I'll just read the whole thing verbatim. Why not? And we're giving this to you, the viewing/listening public, well in advance, so you can ruminate on these things and also potentially come up with your own discussion topics based on them. Hark, 'tis the season for another ridiculous dinner table topic. If you dread another holiday dinner because conversation inevitably spirals into either violent political arguing or awkward, cramped silence, consider interrupting with one of these very silly subjects of debate. Previous year's topics include: can vampires travel in space? Can werewolves survive on the moon? For 2022, the topic is: can ghosts have mental illness? Come back throughout the holiday and let us know what your family decided. So we're going to talk about all three of those things right now.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll inspire some more potential conversations to distract your relatives from saying offensive things at the Thanksgiving dinner table, potentially.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I see posts from this person all the time, but I gotta check. I imagine she's gonna be posting something similar. You know?
We will have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, let's start with: can vampires travel in space? I would assume the potential limitation here is that if you are in space, you are in the direct line of fire of the sun at all times.
Well, unless you're like hiding behind the moon or something, you always.
But then would that be traveling? You got to be moving from point A to point B. I don't know if you can stay, like, unless you exit this galaxy. Well, and even then, you're gonna get close to other stars eventually.
How close do you have to be to a star? Because I mean, there's a lot of them, but they're actually really far apart.
They are really far apart, but I mean,
because
we're really fucking far from the sun in like Earth terms. And they can still have, and clearly, based on various forms of vampire media, they still have problems.
Well, but assuming that you kind of charted a path where you're always making sure that you were like only traveling when a certain planet or asteroid or whatever was blocking the sun enough for you to go past. Because, I mean, yes, the sun is far from Earth, but that is nowhere near the distance between other stars out there.
No, yeah, and you're absolutely right. But here's another point. We have the atmosphere here on Earth, like, filtering out some of the sun. If a vampire were to go into space, would that not make it worse?
Only if they get into the path of the light.
Again, I just don't know how you would, like, totally avoid... Well, I mean, It also depends on the sort of space travel that you're envisioning, because, like, you know, in like old 50s movies where it's like, this suit can do anything, and it's just that.
Yeah.
If it's that, I don't know if you can travel from any point to any point within this galaxy and be like, unless you're actively hiding behind an asteroid at all times, like, be out of the sort of line of fire of the sun's rays, because that shit is a sphere.
Well, I suppose it depends on, like, what lore rules you're going with.
Yeah.
Because I think in a lot of cases, like, vampires can go outside in the sun as long as they have, like, an umbrella. So what if they keep all their skin covered?
Possible.
You know, you got, like, a ski mask on and some shaded, like, goggles.
Well, I mean, the standard astronaut suit, I am assuming, I don't know 100% how this works, but that's gotta have a decent degree of UV protection happening there.
Well, the way that I'm interpreting this question is that it's being asked about vampires specifically because they're largely indestructible, except for their obvious weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in my mind, it has to be that they're not wearing any special suit. Which is why, like, as long as they're wearing clothing that covers everything, they're still just themselves out there, but their vampire invincibility is what's keeping them alive and not a suit.
Interesting. And because I don't think the lack of oxygen would be a problem for, like, your sort of standard vampire in space, because they don't have to breathe. But like what's the level of like of vacuum that a vampire
Mhm.
could withstand? Because like in a lot of vampire media, yeah, they have increased like strength and resistance, but they also do die.
Mhm.
Like there are forces that they cannot overcome.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's basically just like a wooden stake through the heart, and sometimes beheading works.
Also, maybe this
I mean, there's other things that bother them, like crosses and
my
organs,
I
but
know, or like the only reason I the first place I was introduced to this was Skyrim. I don't know how widespread in like this is in all of vampire media, but fire also seems
huh.
to be not Gucci for the vampire in some cases. Again, just going off of a video game that I've played one time.
Well, that wouldn't matter in space because it's like super cold.
Yeah, so it would. Well, and I
So
mean that's
you
what
go up.
happens to the like the shadows vampires, for example, when they are exposed to sunlight, they burst into flames.
Mhm. Yeah, but I mean that wouldn't. I don't know. What if it even be? It wouldn't be possible to burst into flames in space, right?
Probably not.
Yeah. I wish I knew more about space.
I'm about to do some googling. Can there be fire in space?
Yeah, that's interesting to think about. I mean, I suppose if we go with the beheading as a potential way to kill a vampire, then like if they get crushed and their head is that
Fires can't start in space itself because there's no oxygen or indeed anything else in a vacuum.
yep,
So, there we
yeah.
have that answer. So, I guess even if you are talking about the sort of fire vulnerable vampires, that's not really a factor in space.
Yeah.
So then maybe,
And there's no wooden stakes out there.
there's no wooden stakes. So then maybe that would kind of negate the sunlight thing because if they can't burst into flames, what's it gonna do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, clearly I'm on the side of yes, I think they could.
I'm starting to lean that way. And again, or you could just be Alucard and be half vampire and have no problems whatsoever.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about him just now.
I need to watch Nocturne. Anyway, yeah, I guess I kind of am leaning towards vampires probably can travel in space because, I mean, one, they did it on this last season of Shadows. Nandor went to space.
He looked very cold.
He's so stupid. God, that GoPro angle that they had. Beautiful.
Mm.
Absolutely incredible. Peak comedy. Thank you to whoever made sure that that got in there. Anyway. Yeah, I guess I am leaning towards yes.
Yeah. I mean, there are no tardigrades, but
Is anything a tardigrade? I think not.
tardigrades are an alien species. I am convinced of it.
Yeah, that would make the most sense to me.
Yeah, there's no other explanation. But people say that about octopuses too.
Those things are smart to the point that it scares me a little bit.
They're creepy.
Mm-hmm.
They give me the creeps.
Anyway, can werewolves survive on the moon?
It's like, that's a
I
hard one.
Here's my thing. I feel like there might be some more clear-cut rules as to how this would work because yes, werewolves are supernatural creatures. They have increased strength, but even if the sort of being on the moon, like the fact that the sun's rays from the moon are reflecting on them at all times when they are standing on the surface of the moon, that would probably make them be in wolf mode the entire time. But even if they are in wolf mode, they still need to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't they do have the increased strength and everything, but they're not like invulnerable to most things like vampires are.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
you can just shoot a werewolf usually.
well, I mean, you need the whole silver bullet thing, but like,
Yeah.
you can chop one up,
Yeah.
and that's not gonna end well for them. So,
Yeah. So
So I also feel like, perhaps, like, I know it isn't quite a vacuum when you're on the surface of the moon because of how planets work, and, like, the moon technically has an atmosphere, but it's negligible to us.
yeah,
So I don't think that would be a problem. Like, I don't think that it would be like asking essentially just like a giant superpowered dog to exist in a vacuum. But I don't know if it would be good either.
yeah, I don't think they can manage it unless they have like special gear.
I think they would definitely need special gear. And also, if it's the kind of werewolf where, like, you lose all control, even if you had, like, a werewolf spacesuit to protect, to, like, provide oxygen, protect from the sort of the harsh conditions of the surface of the moon, they would just rip it off and then they would die.
Yeah, they would destroy that thing pretty much immediately.
Like, you've tried to put a shirt on a dog before, and how does that go? Like,
But also, like, are they staying there long term? Because if they're stuck in wolf mode at all times, even if they do have control, you're not like cooking yourself food. It's
Yeah,
well,
no, you'd, like, even if you
like
could
farming.
survive out there for a little while, like, set aside the oxygen thing.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do if you're just a dog the whole time? You don't have thumbs.
just paw at things. You
So,
can't hunt.
I'm gonna go no. Werewolves cannot survive on the moon.
Yeah, no, that seems right. Unfortunately.
Which, like, yeah, that's kind of sad, and I think it would be fun for some sci fi movie to be like there's an army of werewolves on the moon so they can be in werewolf form at all times or some shit. I think that would be great. I would love to see someone do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the ultimate like important factor here is that vampires are technically not really alive, whereas
Yeah,
werewolves.
whereas werewolves are. Actually, and this leads me into kind of a weird question because obviously these are both supernatural creatures that do not exist. But what do you consider more human, a vampire or a werewolf?
Interesting. Werewolf?
See,
Because
I
of the
was gonna
alive?
say that too. And, like, why? Because a
Because they're
werewolf is the
alive.
one that transforms into a whole different creature. And yet, for some reason, the fact that they're not dead makes them feel a little more human to me than a vampire.
Well, I think maybe part of it is too because they are still alive. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a chance they could be cured. Because I,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a common thing in a lot of stuff that has werewolves involved. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna figure out a cure for, this thing, and then you'll be normal again. And sometimes it does happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe in Supernatural they did that. They cured werewolf. I believe what's his name was a
Probably
werewolf.
that shows.
Dean.
I was in the trenches for that show for a while, and then I was like, why am I doing this? And now I just sort of put all that in a corner of my brain and don't think about it anymore.
But I mean, I think that is a factor that they are alive, and it's like they could,
Yeah.
most days out of the month, they're just normal people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eating food, going on family trips, whatever humans do.
Okay. Unless we have anything else to say about this, would we like to move on to the sort of final dinner table discussion topic that has been presented by your friend here?
Sure.
Last one. Can ghosts have mental illness? I am going to come right out of the gate and say resoundingly yes. Isn't that 99% of the time why they're ghosts in the first place? Because they're like haunting a battlefield with their horrific PTSD from the Civil War or some shit?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, oh, I died. Oh, my brain's normal again.
Yeah,
Not
no,
again.
also, like,
Normal.
you died.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna bring up, like, if you are a ghost and like, you remember dying, I think that's probably gonna create some more worms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unresolved business and all that.
Yeah, like, that's
So,
why they're ghosts 99% of the time in most sort of lore,
yeah.
is that they have unresolved business or, like, some, it's like mental block that is preventing them from moving on. So I'm going to say absolutely ghosts can have mental illness, and 99% of the time that's probably the reason why they're ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, also, like, I forget what the percentages are, but like a huge portion of the population struggles with some sort of mental health issue.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to get any better when they
Yeah,
die.
it's not going to get any better when they're dead, and also, like, in this economy, like, who isn't?
Yeah. Right.
So I'm going to say resounding yes. Ghosts can have mental illness.
That's what makes them fun.
Rock on, ghosties. We support you.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is something that I stumbled across on Reddit today that I just thought needed to be spoken about. So I'm going to send you this link right now. Oh, wonderful. It did let me pull up the image. Okay. So this is a screenshot of a tweet by @Zach Bornstein. And the tweet reads thusly: "Losing my mind, just offered the aisle seat to the guy sitting between me and my girlfriend on a flight, and he said he'd rather stay in the middle seat between us." What do you do in that situation?
There's a few layers to it. Like,
please.
First of all, it seems like he prefers a middle seat, which
odd.
That on its own is a weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second is that he's also not willing to, like, help these two people out, you know?
Yeah.
And third, he seems to want to be in this uncomfortable situation.
So would we like to address those point by point?
So, starting with the middle seat, like, he seems to like the middle seat, because I'm assuming he chose it.
Unbelievably strange.
Like, I feel like that's the one thing that everybody can agree on, that's the worst seat.
Don't people, like, in, like, a car, don't they call it the bitch seat?
Yeah, sometimes. We always just call it the hump, because it, it's higher up. But,
yeah, but, like, it is the least convenient seat to be in. Like, the only time it's not that bad is, like, if you are sitting with friends on either side, so you know that, like, if you have to get up to pee or whatever, like, they're not going to be mad at you because they're your friends.
Yeah.
But even then, like, that's the only time it's vaguely okay.
Yeah, I mean, people can argue a lot about window versus aisle. Actually, that might be a fun argument to have, because I'm very much a window person.
Yeah, we can come back to that at some point. Anyway.
Yeah. But, if you're in the window seat, you get to look out the window. That's nice. You can, lean your head against the thing if you want to take a nap. If you're in the aisle, you can easily get in and out. Like, there's no benefit to the middle seat. And all you're doing, like, the armrest, you don't have, like, a specific armrest that is your armrest.
Nope.
At least on the window or the aisle, you at least got one of them that nobody else is trying to have this.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what the benefit is of choosing a middle seat on a, like, what kind of person does that? Like, what in your brain says this is the best seat?
Which is what I think leads me to the second point of, like, he likes this. He likes that he's causing a problem.
This is a reminder. Try on contacts. If you finish this, just let me know you're done. Otherwise, I'll remind you in an hour.
She's reminding me to do a thing that I didn't tell her that I already did. Anyway.
That's fun.
I gotta figure out how to work with Do Not Disturb on there or something for certain times.
That would be smart. But yeah, it seems like this guy is liking the fact that he has engineered a situation where people are now uncomfortable because of something that he's doing.
Yeah, that's... Well, is that getting into the second point or the third point?
I feel like it's kind of getting into both at once.
Yeah, because the reason I pulled out the second point as, like, not wanting to help people out, essentially, like, unless you, for some reason, really love the middle seat, what reason is there not to?
There isn't one. And, like...
These two people, they like each other. They want to sit together. It doesn't bother me.
That's the thing that I never get. Like, if you're in a situation in public where, like, or like just in any situation where like you can do something to help people that costs $0 and takes like less than 30 seconds, almost zero effort, why are you not doing it?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they did specifically say that they offered him the aisle seat. Maybe they should have given him a choice between the window or aisle, because maybe he's a window guy.
Possible.
But still,
But
I
even
wouldn't
then,
get it for that reason, because the aisle's still better than the middle.
yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
the wanting to stay in the middle seat is incredibly bizarre to me. Being a dick when it costs $0 not to be is just, again, bizarre to me.
Yeah. But then the third thing.
He's getting off on this. Maybe not sexually, but like he's enjoying it.
Well, so that's not where my mind went.
Interesting. Where did your mind go?
I was thinking more along the lines of he just simply doesn't care.
Oh, really? I wonder what this says about me as a human being. My mind immediately went to like, oh, he's enjoying that he's like causing a problem for people. This is like some sort of like, again, maybe it's sexual, maybe it isn't, but like getting off on the fact that you have inconvenienced people in some way, shape, or form.
Sort of like control in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I've just come across so many people where they're like, I don't really care what you want. You know, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. And yeah,
I mean,
maybe those people are sitting on either side of him, just like being annoyed and fuming. But if he really genuinely doesn't care, he's like,
see, I could, and it, again, probably just me. But like, if I was between that energy, I would want to set myself on fire.
but you would have to have like awareness of others, and some people don't.
I mean, and I'm speaking as a person who could probably do with a little less awareness of others to like greatly improve my life. None, really, none at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah. No, I've been told multiple times that my concern for other people is an impediment to my life. You know.
I mean,
so
we're in the same boat there.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I have met those kind of people that are just genuinely like, no, I don't. This is where I want to sit. I don't care where you want to sit. It's not my problem.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
and like again,
read my book or whatever.
Probably could use a little less awareness of other people to like make myself mentally healthier, but like I cannot fathom just being like, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
In like any situation.
I feel like I could just imagine sitting there and just feeling the energy from both of them, feeling that they want
I would be being cooked by the vibes from either side of me, and I would like Twilight Zone wing gremlin sabotage the plane to escape that energy, to escape like bad vibes from either side of me because of a situation that I caused.
Yeah, I think I'm even imagining like the people that are part of the couple, like a lot of this depends on like their sense of manners as well, because like are they gonna think it's rude to talk over him, so they just don't talk?
What if they want to have a conversation? Are they just gonna?
I mean,
the whole time. Oh my god, that would be so weird.
Not even just having a conversation, but like you're sitting there, and you're like, oh, I wanted to ask them if they remembered to like double check the hotel booking or whatever. Are you gonna just like, hey, you know?
And also, like, do you sit there and text? Because they have Wi-Fi on planes now. Do you sit there and message each other about the fact that this person is sitting in between you the entire time? Because I sure would.
Yeah. I mean, I was just leaving my phone off the whole flight, though, or in airplane mode the whole flight.
I haven't been on a plane since 2019, so I don't really know what happens on planes anymore.
I mean, they do have Wi-Fi. It's just usually you have to like pay for it or something, and separate thing. And
I don't know.
I just never felt the need to text while on a plane, so I've never bothered with it.
Yeah, I can't. No. And yeah, what do you even do?
As the middle seat person?
No, like as the person who asked.
I mean, honestly, I would
Do you
just
even
get
do
comfortable.
anything?
No, I would just get comfortable and listen to music or read or whatever I was gonna do. Probably anyway.
Bizarre.
Because what do you
Absolutely
do?
bizarre.
They paid for that seat. It's on their ticket. It's not like you can go tell on them. Were you gonna try
Yeah.
to bribe them or something? Like, what's the point
Yeah,
of
no,
that?
I guess you really kind of can't do anything, but like, God, that would be so
Yeah,
weird.
it's one of those things where I just have a lot of questions for this person, this middle seat
Mm-hmm.
person.
As do I.
Yeah, it's a special breed of person.
I would say so, but I think we've got a couple minutes to circle back to the window versus aisle seat debate.
Mm-hmm.
Love the views, very here for it. As the token friend that always has to pee, aisle seat every time, baby.
I'm all about the window. I
And
always
here's the
get a
thing,
window.
I get it. I really truly do. I had the window seat on the flight from Moscow to St. Petersburg, and like looking out and seeing like the countryside and all these little like towns, everything. So cool. Absolutely loved it. But also like, again, I always have to pee. And I don't want to be stepping over people.
It's not just the view though, because again, it's nice that you have like the side of the plane there too, so it's a good place to like
It
sort
is
of
nice that
nest
you have the
in.
side of the plane, and I will say something about being in the window seat makes me feel like very safe. Like
Yeah,
I'm tucked away in this little corner.
it feels very exposed in the aisle seat.
It does feel very exposed in the aisle seat. I will agree that that is a negative of the aisle seat, but I think the not having to step on people
I just
is a big
usually
bonus that outweighs any potential detriment.
I just don't go to the bathroom on the plane. What?
What if you're on a plane for like 10 hours?
I was on a plane for like 8 hours for Paris. Didn't go to the bathroom.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dehydrated myself.
Don't do that.
I didn't want to get up. Also, the other negative of the aisle seat is like when they're coming through with the like food and drink carts, they're just like all up in your business while they're
I mean,
reaching.
everyone's all up in everyone's business on an airplane to some degree.
Well, you don't have someone usually standing this close to your face, reaching across you and stuff.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think aisle seat. I mean, I agree. There are definitely benefits to the window seat, but I don't want to have to do the awkward stepping on people thing.
There are so many benefits to the window seat, but really just the one for the aisle seat.
And perhaps you're right, but the one is massive, in my opinion.
You know, if we're doing it as a cost-benefit analysis, window seat.
It could be a fun little unit, little example for a lecture.
Cost-benefit of window versus aisle seats.
I'm here for it. And I do want credit for whatever arguments of mine that you use as examples.
I don't see how that fits into anything I teach.
I don't know.
I thought you just meant in general. I didn't think you meant it in my classes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something and I'm really not coming up with it.
I mean, you could do something about like how sitting in the window seat versus the aisle seat affects communication. Actually, really, this scenario of the middle seat guy between the couple is an interesting communication scenario. Not the kind of stuff that I do, but it is interesting. Because it's not media, you know.
Interpersonal, though.
Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah,
Chuck
I know.
that over those interpersonal
But
stuff.
it still can be used. Okay.
I haven't taught interpersonal communication in like more than 10 years.
Is that just like, was that on purpose? Did you manage to avoid it? Have you been trying to avoid it?
No. I was just needed for other things.
And now are you like making it a mission to see how long you can go without having to teach interpersonal again?
Oh, I don't think they're ever going to make me teach it again. Because that's
Cool.
not my role in the department. I was at Ohio State that I taught it, so.
Oh. Huh.
But it's just like a fun fact that I like to bring up because everyone's always like, "Oh, you're a media person." I'm like, I taught interpersonal communication and journalism.
And are people frequently surprised by that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
The other class I have actively avoided and have successfully done for years is public speaking. I think I've gotten out from under that. They've stopped giving it to me.
I hated public speaking. Shocker. Although this is like a Schrodinger's public speaking situation, because right now I'm just talking to you, but then it goes on the internet.
Yeah, but that's later. You're not speaking directly to them, like, you know, they're not looking at you.
I think that's a massive, massive part of it.
Yeah, not judging you in real time. It's actually very coincidentally, we're in my intro to comm class, we're covering delivering speeches this week.
Hell yeah.
And so we were talking about public speaking anxiety in class just yesterday. And I was asking them, like, what is it about public speaking that makes you nervous? And one of them was like, knowing that people are judging you, like they're looking at you, listening to you, judging you as you're talking. Yeah, but we don't have to worry about that because we don't see them. These people out there.
I do wonder what it is precisely about me as a person where it's like I don't like public speaking. Like I don't want to get up and give a speech and have people judge me, but also I like attention.
I think it's the real time thing. Like you can mess up and you can't take it back. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Versus this, I mean, hypothetically, we could just cut stuff out.
And you'll never know. You would. Because I'm not that good of an because I am not that good of an editor. I don't think I could make an invisible cut
possible
here, but yeah, we could make up something. We could lie and say we had technical difficulties. Have I done it before? You'll never know.
How about whenever like one of us says something really stupid or just terrible, we immediately just freeze for a few seconds.
That'd
you
be
know?
good.
And you can use that.
You ever see? Oh my! I think it's Bo Burnham's first Netflix special. He's like, let's do a joke about video editors. Video editors are so, and then it just like hard cuts. I was like, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And you could only tell that in taped stand-up special format.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Genius. Anyway, I think that is going to bring us to the weekly worsening for tonight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we can circle back around to the fact that we have Attack on Titan is over, and we've watched the ending, and
we can't really talk about it because it's still too new, you know.
Very new.
Give people a chance to watch and process it on their own, but man,
it's over, bro.
I know, it's not even just like the way it ends, it's that it did end, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, now we know.
Because I fell off with it for quite a while, but I remember watching the first season and a half. I was a freshman in high school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's over.
Yeah. No, it's...
Without giving anything away, would we say that are we gonna thumbs up, thumbs down, satisfied, not satisfied?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they definitely could have, I'm happy. I've seen significantly worse fuck-ups in endings before.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I mean, there are things I would have done differently, but overall.
I mean, yeah, but also, wrapping up a story of that magnitude, I think it's borderline impossible to do it perfectly. You're never gonna please everyone.
Yeah. And it's not like with something like that, you could be like, and everybody...
Yeah, you kind of gotta just be like, listen.
Everybody who died earlier is coming back to life. Or, it's all a dream.
Yeah, no. No, it's... Someone's gonna be unhappy.
No, I wanted them to bring Hanji back from the dead.
That's a spoiler.
Well, that wasn't from the finale.
That wasn't from the finale. But I'm gonna tag that in the description either way for anybody who is maybe like halfway through.
That's one of those things. Freeze.
No, I'm just gonna put it in. It's happened before when we talked about death. When we were talking about, again, potential spoilers. When we were talking about whether or not Elle or Light died a virgin.
Yeah.
And like even before any like description, I think I was just like, I put in block letters before any of our like normal stuff in the YouTube description. It was just like major Death Note spoilers from here to here. Skip. But also, speaking of Attack on Titan, since I got a new guitar recently, which that was I mentioned that last week, I think, as part of my worsening. But I also got a case, and I got to put all the stickers that I've kind of been hoarding onto that case. But it has some like I don't know how I would describe it, because on a smaller scale, I would call this etching. But it's like the logo of the brand of the guitar case, it's not a flat surface. You know what I mean? Is there a word for that? I don't know.
It's textured?
Yeah, there we go. It's
that?
like rather deeply textured in some spots. So like I quickly ran out of like expansive flat surface for larger stickers, so the two that didn't make it were Hanji and Levi.
Mm-hmm.
But so now they're just sitting on my desk waiting for some surface to come along. But again, I wish that they were facing each other so I can make them kiss.
Just need to make your own. Scan that sticker in.
Flip one of them.
Yeah. This is the level. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I feel like I have to be. Oh, here's how I'm worse. So, my sleep token mask that I wore for Halloween and took photos in, as soon as I was done with that, I spray painted over everything that I had done to it and stripped it all the way back to white so that I could do it over again and make it better for when I wear it to Saratoga Comic-Con.
You brought that up during last week's worsening and you showed it.
Shit, dog. Why is time blurring together in this way for me? I did get a bunch more stuff to work on that, though. A bunch of the things I ordered finally came in. I'm gonna put netting under the eyes so that you can't see my face. I've got new paint. I got elastic for it. I'm really excited. And also, the same person who 3D printed my mask, Perry Camp over at Omega Level 3D Printing, it's fucking awesome. I commissioned the like shoulder armor that Vessel wears, so that will be getting added to that cosplay at some point in the near future. I don't think it's going to be ready in time for Saratoga Comic-Con, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, it's a little too soon.
Un poquito, but
Week and a half.
So yeah, that's how I'm worse. I continue to spiral down the cosplay rabbit hole, but I'm also like really looking forward to just having like a really good cosplay completely finished that I can bust out whenever I'm going to somewhere and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for this day. Oh, here's this awesome thing that I finished and don't have to do anything else with and can just put it on.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting.
I have ones like that, but they're ones I just bought.
It's something about knowing that I put it all together. It scratches an itch in my brain.
I'm gonna get there when I make my Hanji cape and jacket and everything.
It's addictive. Like, it really genuinely is. I have been doing this shit since I was in like high school.
Made my jacket, my Greg shorts.
Exciting times all around. I am very much looking forward to Saratoga, and that is creeping up on us pretty soon. So that's exciting, but yeah. Most of my worsening this week is cosplay related with like a sprinkling of anime.
Yeah, I feel like mine is mostly anime because, there's the Attack on Titan stuff. I'm now in season 5 of My Hero Academia.
Very impressed.
Yeah, if I keep going at my current pace, I'll be done with it before Saratoga.
Well, that's probably good because there's so much anime stuff at Saratoga Comic Con.
Yeah. And I did start watching Nocturne.
Bitch.
What?
Nothing, I'm messing with you.
I was like, did we say we were going to watch that
No,
together?
we didn't.
It's like, what?
No, but you're not allowed, and Kyle has brought this up multiple times, you are not allowed to start Paranoia Agent. We are watching that in one go. One of the times that we are all in the same place because it's like 13, 20-minute episodes or some shit. Like, it's a rainy day.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it.
Good or not, that's all I want to know.
No, it's good. The thing is, and I don't, this is not a spoiler at all. It's just like, I think we were slightly misled. There is a Belmont, like as the central character, but this takes place like hundreds of years after Sypha and Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's absolutely, like, thus far at least, no connection to them or reference to them whatsoever. He's just like their distant relative.
Interesting.
Which I had thought he was supposed to be their son. But
yeah, I remember you saying something like,
Yeah. So I think that was misleading. Yeah, it's like this is way further in the future and he's just
Interesting. I will get around to that one soon. That is high on the list.
But I think that's important to note because I was disappointed when I discovering that as I was watching. I was like, oh, but I thought we were at least gonna maybe see old Trevor and Sypha or something.
Yeah.
But so I think it's good to be aware of that.
Noted.
But aside from that, it's been really good so far. And yes, Richter Belmont very much has Trevor Belmont vibes, as you would expect.
Shocker.
Oh, I love the Belmonts.
Same.
Delightful.
Watch Castlevania.
Yeah.
Is my recommendation to literally anyone who is listening to or watching this podcast episode. Watch Castlevania. It's a great time.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's going to bring us to a close for this week. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will see you again next Friday. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!